Movie Pain and Pleasure.
Welcome to Movie Pain or Pleasure, the show you'd be crazy to miss. And I'm saying this because I, your co-host Melanie, am holding up a bottle of crazy water that we got on a little weekend trip to Mineral Wells, Texas. And we found this at a shop in the little downtown area. AJ's actually from Mineral Wells, he grew up there.
Yeah.
And the town is famous for its mineral water. And so we were in this little shop. Yes, I'll just read it. The Legend of Crazy Water. The waters of Mineral Wells, Texas have been making folks feel good inside and out since 1881. Maybe because of the flavor, which it does have like a weird alkaline flavor to it. Maybe because they just might have healed a crazy woman who drank from the well. Either way, you'd be crazy not to drink it. Okay, I've already taken my 2 mood stabilizer dosages today. I have bipolar disorder. Had I known, I could have just gone to Mineral Wells and drank some crazy water. My insurance company would probably be a lot happier with me.
All you needed was lithium poisoning.
All I needed, yeah, we were at the shop and the lady said, you know what makes me feel pretty good? It's got lithium in it. And I'm like, oh shit, give me some of that crazy water. So that's what I'll be drinking for the rest of our episode.
Cool. I'm not drinking shit, so...
AJ, what are we talking about?
So we're going to talk about Lightyear, which...
This is so weird.
Was...
It's so weird. It's good, though.
Just like the movie. It was part of our trip plans, pretty much. Melanie wanted a full small-town country day, so I figured that the night we came in and we had to go to see a movie in the shitty little Cinema 3
Now, I'll add
theater.
a little thing. This is not like some big city person slumming it. I grew up in a small rural West Texas town, so I love small town country stuff. And our shitty little movie theater only had 2 screens. It was even smaller than Mineral Wells. So tell more about our Mineral Wells adventure.
Let's see. Well, we started with Lightyear, which was really good. And
It's really good.
Main point of the video, so we'll get to that quick. Hiking in the state park, which go do that if you feel like, or rock climbing if you enjoy that, you can go do that. We didn't enjoy the lake this time. We just looked at it.
We liked looking at it, but we didn't swim in it.
Yeah, or canoe, not this time. And then
We ate at some good diners.
diner, Garrett's, and this weird fun candy shop that was mostly weird stuff instead of candy stuff.
Yeah, it had this stuff called Love My Nuts, and it was ball deodorant and ball wash and ball spray.
That's so weird.
And right next to it, they had like men's devotional Bibles. That's where I bought my crazy water. So we saw Lightyear in the little theater in Mineral Wells, and there were like 4 other people. And it was a toss-up between that or Jurassic World, whatever they're calling the new movie.
I think this movie just came out, was it this week or last week?
Lightyear?
Yeah.
So Lightyear is by Pixar, and it's a take on, it's kind of like the real story of Buzz Lightyear, and it's freaking incredible. This is our spoiler-free review.
I think everyone knew it was going to be at least handled pretty well, because it looks so good.
Visually, it's amazing. People still look like plastic dolls like they do in all Pixar movies.
They're never going to look like perfect. But the only thing they made a mistake on was there's a moment where I would have liked to have heard Tim Allen show up, and he never did. So
that would
have been cool.
I'll talk a little bit about the cast. I've got it pulled up on my phone. So the young Buzz Lightyear is played by Chris Evans, Captain America. His commander, it was played by Uzo Aduba, who was from Orange is the New Black. You've got Peter Sohn as this adorable robot cat named Socks.
Best part.
A couple of other, Dale Stools, who was also in Orange is the New Black. She was Frida. A couple of other big name actors. Isaiah Whitlock as sort of an antagonist in it. Efren Ramirez, who was Pedro in Napoleon Dynamite, is in it. And then James Brolin plays a role that I won't spoil it and say who it is. So that was another character. And also, okay, I knew this was coming. I kind of wish it had been a surprise, but I heard that this movie was banned in the United Arab Emirates because there was a gay kiss. And I'm like, a gay kiss in a Pixar movie? Awesome.
Yeah, they could have just clipped it, and you wouldn't even notice it.
Or they can fuck off and learn that love is love and happy Pride Month.
I don't give a shit, but they make it sound like, there's a... Like, they don't... even the people that made it, it's not even the focus in the shot. I
No.
never saw it.
This was one of the best representations of an LGBTQ character I've ever seen because they did not make a big deal out of it at all. It was just like, here's this character, here's the person they love, boom, who cares? That's it. And that's how it should be. That's how it is with straight people. Like, oh, that's their spouse. Or, okay, we were talking about Up. I'm like, he was married to a woman. Does that make any difference in his character? It does when you play that sad music at the beginning of Up, but who cares? So the way they did that, yeah, there's a gay character, and who cares?
And they have
and it's
a
not
baby.
a big and it's not a big
and
deal.
Nobody questions it. Buzz is just like, that's cool.
Yeah, Buzz isn't the gay character. Spoiler.
I was thinking that's where it was gonna go.
I was kind of hoping Buzz would be the gay character.
Like, do y'all have no balls? I mean, I know that Buzz, as the character that already exists, isn't gay because he's into what's her name?
Bo Peep?
No,
that's Woody's girlfriend.
Yeah, the one that you hate.
Oh, Jessie?
Yeah, Jessie.
Oh, I freaking hate Jessie, even though I cried my eyes out at her song in Toy Story 2.
So,
but yeah,
but that's Toy Buzz. That's not movie Buzz.
There's gay representation, and they don't make a big deal out of it, and it's incredible. I love it. Happy Pride.
So
big deal.
Okay. So that's our thing for Pride Month.
In a Pixar movie. Awesome. Keep it going.
So, now to the actual, like, storyline. They totally go with the whole Space Ranger thing. It's not gimmicky. Like, if you grew up in the 90s like I did, there was the Buzz Lightyear show, which happened, which was totally, like, normally animated.
Okay, let
2D.
me ask you about that. Was he kind of an idiot the way he is in the Toy Story movies?
Maybe. I mean, it was like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Okay, Buzz in this movie is not a kind of a fun dummy the way Tim Allen's Buzz Lightyear is. He's very serious. He's smart. He's Captain America, basically.
I think this is my idea. I think Hank Hill from King of the Hill would love this movie because of Buzz. He's so, like, this is the right way to do things, and I need to get my job done.
Yeah.
That
Buzz is very honorable, and
although he gets in his own way, which is like the big thing in the movie.
That's his hubris. He makes a big mistake that impacts a lot of people, and he kind of spends the rest of the movie trying to make up for that. And you see that come into play later on, where he thinks he can do everything himself. He doesn't want to rely on other people. He thinks he knows the right way, and of course, I like the way they play with that and show that it's a mistake. Sometimes you have to trust other people. You have to work together with other people.
I've seen that trope done a lot. So for that, it's like, okay, we're doing this again. But it's done pretty well because of the world and the people around him and the way they change while he's sticking to his one goal. I don't want to give away too much of the story. But so the start of the movie, his crew lands on a planet, and they think they're going to check out to see if they can live there, and shit goes wrong because plants and giant bugs. And, okay, one of the most awesome parts of the movie, Lightyear is Pixar. Pixar is owned by Disney. Disney now owns the right to Star Wars, so they can just flat out have, like, basically lightsabers.
They had lightsaber machetes.
Little machete lightsabers.
Those were awesome. I want one of those.
They try to get away. Buzz screws up, and he kind of keeps doing that. Like, every step where he tries to fix something else goes wrong, and it almost sends it like you definitely don't know where the movie's going while you're watching it.
No.
Because it keeps taking these different turns from when he does the wrong thing, when he should have, I guess, been more open to his partners or whatever.
Yeah, so it's about Buzz's hubris and learning to trust other people and to trust that you can work as a team to get something done. There's a lot of action and a lot of peril. So much that it's almost exhausting. Because it's like, oh, this is resolved. Oh, shit, something else is happening. Oh, no, something else is happening. So it's action-packed. It keeps it moving. It's a lot,
actually,
though.
Like, nothing... But it's almost like every time it's about to get resolved, it doesn't. Like, every time you think, okay, we're getting... Nah, fuck.
It's not like in the Batman where it's like, oh, they caught the Riddler, everything's fine. No, it's not. It really wasn't. It didn't tug you back and forth as much with Lightyear. It was just like action peril the entire time.
Yeah.
Like you said, things would almost get resolved, but you don't get that. You don't get that release of okay, the danger's over. It's just like you're on the edge of your seat the whole time.
Yeah. And it was funny, but it wasn't goofy. Like it didn't
No,
they didn't go for easy stupid jokes. Well, except for the ones that I will forgive because they're really funny with like the old lady that's actually on parole or whatever.
Who was played by Frida from Orange is the New Black, so she was perfect.
Yeah. Things like that are kind of goofy, but it's still not done in such a way that it feels like, okay, now we're in a cartoon.
I didn't feel. I mean, I was into it. I didn't feel like I was watching a kid's movie.
This won't mean anything to you, but...
Me?
Yeah, you.
I'll just drink my crazy water.
But it, like, when it's just in its story and it's not, like... When it's in the action-y parts and it's not trying to be funny at all, it reminded me a lot of Halo. Halo has a storyline, I swear.
Is that the game you're always playing when you're...
I play it from time to time.
I'll walk in and he's playing a game and I don't know what it is and
Sounds like I'm talking to my mom.
I grew up on 8-bit Nintendo. I don't... it's too confusing.
Anyway, so if you're aware of, like, the storylines of Halo and just that feel, that's how it feels. Yeah, I don't know how else to put it. He seems like a legit space ranger.
Okay.
And they have a bunch of quotes from the other movies, but they don't do it like, see, there's the quote. Like, they did it more kind of subtle.
Yeah, it was subtle. And also, okay, one of the best characters is this robotic cat named Socks. And he was adorable. I want a Socks so badly.
He was like an emotional support animal, but, like...
And a really smart robot.
He was a robot that was built to be an emotional support animal. So, that was a little weird, because I was like, okay, he's sentient? Sort of?
I need one of those cats. I want one of those cats so badly. I would talk to it all day.
And he's one of the funniest parts.
Yes. We can't even say... There's a visual gag that's not even... And it's a serious moment. But we were cracking up, laughing out loud in the theater for like a good couple of minutes after it happened. I kept thinking of it later on, and I kept laughing.
It was one of the first legitimate jokes. And it was with Socks. And it was so out of left field, because so far he had just been this... He's very calm and pleasant, and how are you today? And then there's this really funny visual joke, and it, like, we lost our shit. Nobody, like, I didn't hear it. There's only 4 other people in the entire place, but I didn't hear any of them.
I was dying, and then I kind of look over at him, and he'd start laughing again, and I'd start laughing again. And then it happens again later on, and it's not as funny, but it's a good callback to the previous incident.
Yeah.
So the villain is...
I enjoyed
twist.
it.
Didn't see that coming.
I don't think this is a big spoiler, for at least this much. So Zurg is in it, like the toy from the Toy Story 2, and I believe he was a character in the animated show. He's in it, and they do interesting things with him. And it's not where I thought it was going to go.
No, and
because
the things that happen after that are like, oh shit, they did that. Ooh.
Yeah, okay, so at the beginning of the movie it says, this is the movie that Andy was watching.
Yes,
whatever.
Andy from Toy Story saw this movie in 1995.
Which, with this animation and this random gay couple...
Tokyo Drift
1995?
Tokyo Drift happened after Fast and Furious 5.
That's different.
Okay.
At least they could... Anyway, whatever. We'll argue that. But, okay, fine. So, that means that there's a moment in Toy Story 2 where, back then it was just a kind of a Star Wars joke, where he has the whole, I am your father, and then he's like, no! But in this, they don't go with that. I could see how they could have... I don't know how to put it. How they could have used it as a reference, but not actually used the joke backstory from the show. Because I was like, he's staying pretty close to some of these things I remember. I wonder if they're going to do that. And they didn't do that. They did something way better.
Yes, way better. Yeah, as far as, how movies like to be meta with things, it was so subtle. I mean, this thing stands on its own. You really don't have to have seen any of the Toy Story movies. Mm-mm. He does say to infinity and beyond, but everybody knows that, even if you haven't seen the Toy Story movies.
And it is Pixar, so they still got one, soul-crushing,
Oh, I thought, okay, I didn't cry when you would think you would, like when an important character died. There was a part where I thought something was going to happen to Socks. And I'm going to cry thinking about it.
Really?
And I couldn't. I was looking over at AJ, and he was just like...
I wasn't going to cry. I was like...
I was going to lose it. I was going to lose my shit and cry and sob in that movie theater if something what we thought was going to happen to him happened. Socks is fine.
But Socks I wasn't talking about that moment. I think that was just part of, the peril of the situation.
That was the worst part.
But, the emotional... Pixar moment was pretty good. It wasn't quite good enough for an almost tear moment.
No, I usually cry at the end of a Pixar movie.
But it was pretty good. I think it needed a little more build up, and I think they cut it off a little too soon. But they got the tearjerker. It might get some people, so there's that.
My only complaint is that they didn't play either Starman by David Bowie or Rocket Man by Elton John, because they played those in the commercials and the previews, and I really wanted that little moment where they were playing it, and they never did.
I might be wrong, but I can't think of, outside of Cars, a Pixar movie that has any pop music whatsoever.
Yeah, that's
true.
They
always have original scores. Even when they do have their songs, it's from someone they paid, like Randy Newman.
At least they didn't have a Randy Newman song.
Yeah, they didn't have Randy Newman singing in space. You get a Space Ranger in me.
Yeah.
You get a Space Ranger in me.
AJ's learning how to play the harmonica.
I'm not. I wish I could. Anyway, any other big notes about this movie?
Sometimes the action and peril can get tiring, but like you said, it never kind of toys you. You're like, ooh, it's all over. No, it's not. So it's just it's a wild ride.
It was smart the way they did it.
It was a smart movie. It was well written. Acting was great. All the dialogue was good. It didn't feel... There's a silliness to the Toy Story movies. Yeah. And this was not... There was, a couple of jokes, one visual gag that just killed us. But it really was... This plays as a serious movie. And I think... I almost think... I don't think children would even enjoy it. I could see them either getting bored or...
I could... No, okay, not really young. Really young kids might watch it just because it's animated and there's some... okay... I'll take that back. Even the color scheme is pretty dark.
They're in space. Dark blues, dark purples. They're on the planet.
Dark
it's
greens
and blacks.
Even the spacesuits. Whatever. His Space Ranger outfit. It's dulled down, kind of. And it's not exactly the spacesuit that you see on Buzz in the Toy Story universe. It's a little different, but there's some explanation there. So
yeah, some of the side characters that he ends up with later in the movie are definitely played for laughs, and they're funny. But Buzz is totally he is freaking Captain America the whole time.
Which Chris Evans was perfect.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I want an episode of King of the Hill where Hank just falls in love with this movie because he's watching it with his granddaughter. And he's like, that boy is he's just right.
Yeah. So go see it. A+.
Yeah, see this shit. My
so
God.
Good. I can't wait for it to come on Disney Plus so I can watch it again.
Yeah, this, okay, we've been watching some of the more recent Disney and Pixar movies, and, okay, so the big ones that have come out, Encanto, which apparently blew up the world, Luca, which we're halfway through,
yeah,
and Turning Red. we finished 2 of those. We halfway through the third one, and Lightyear just came out. I think Lightyear is maybe the best one.
By far. The other ones are good.
Also, Turning Red is the second best, easily.
It was awesome.
Turning Red is way better than Encanto.
Encanto was fine, and I'm mad at myself because I cried over a character who was a bitch. I didn't even like this character. And I cried over this stupid character. We haven't finished Luca yet, but honestly, okay, with Luca...
It's fine.
It's okay. It seems like a short that was turned into a movie.
It does.
It feels like it would work better as a Disney short.
Okay. Mini Encanto review or thing. I do like the message of the movie that I don't think it's done a lot. Like, who are you when you can't do the thing that you're, like, really good at and you're known for? Like, what else is there about that makes you important?
What everybody expects you to do.
Yeah. So, that's a really cool subject matter. I think Turning Red was better.
They resolved the stuff with Bruno too quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't talk about Bruno.
We don't talk about Bruno. So yeah. So
anyway.
Go watch Seeing Red. Go watch Lightyear. It's so good. I can't wait to see it again.
It's one of the ones that you want to actually see on a really big screen.
Yes.
Like, although it was Mineral Wells, so not a really big screen, more like half the size of a screen that we would have down the street here in Fort Worth.
But it was nice and easy. We went in, we paid, went back to where we were staying.
We actually got there way too early because I was like, oh, it's Friday night. There's going to be people. There was nobody.
There was just this cop who was hanging out there talking to the guy at the concession stand because they were friends.
Yeah. Mineral Wells, don't close the cinema, please.
Please, it's wonderful. I want to go back. So that just added to my small town experience. So yeah. I finished my crazy water. Maybe the lithium will set in and make me feel nice and calm.
Buzz probably could have used some lithium on that planet he ended up on.
Yeah.
You'll figure that out once you watch the movie. So, go see that shit.
Go see that shit. Bye. Right. Wait. We haven't told people how to join our cult and be my victim.
Go ahead.
We're on Discord, Twitch, YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, and Instagram, Movie Pain or Pleasure Podcast, to infinity and beyond.
Share this video, infinity.
And beyond.